We're watching Iowa Live here on this beautiful Friday morning. Kim Baer is joining us this morning from Baer Law Firm. Have some great legal advice for us this morning. Some good information as always. And today it looks like we're talking about wills, living wills.
Yes, living wills, power of attorney, you know, all those things no one ever wants to think about.
Exactly. Yes, but are important.
But are important. And really what I want people to know is they're also not very expensive. I think people think, oh my gosh, it's a hassle and it's going to cost me a lot of money.
Right.
And so they just kind of put it on the back burner.
So let's break it down. What is a living will? I think we know what a will is.
Yes.
What is a living will?
So a living will is a form that you fill out and you check all sorts of boxes and you say, okay, if I am on life support, but there's a chance that I'm going to come back, you know, then this is what I want to happen. If my organs have shut down, this is what I want to happen. If the doctors are telling my relatives that I could live indefinitely, but if I ever come out of it, I'm going to be a vegetable, you know, that kind of thing. So you are picking, you're making those decisions sitting here right now while you're not in that situation,
right,
as to what you want done. Then what happens is that's the document that the doctors will follow and that your relatives follow. And I'll just tell you, I've had lots of situations where people have called and maybe families are fighting. Someone has been in a horrible accident, or maybe they've been battling cancer and they're now, you know, in the hospital, and somebody, or they're in a coma. You know, comas are the hardest thing to deal with because we just don't know. Are they going to come back? Are they not going to come back? Is there brain activity? And it's so hard for your relatives or your children or your spouse to make those decisions, because then they have the guilt. Did I do the right thing?
Right.
And so the nice thing about this document is it's what your wishes are. It's communicated. You give the document to the doctor, and then the hospital and the doctor and the nurses follow what your directives are.
Are there any situations where the family tries to fight those?
Yes. I was recently over at the hospital in an unfortunate situation where a woman had a brain disorder and seizures, and they just weren't sure if she was going to make it, and she had kind of come to and said, hey, you know, call my attorney. So I ran over there, and you know, her family, especially her children, did not want her to sign what she was signing, but you know, she knew what she was doing, and she just said, look, I don't know what my future is going to hold. I don't know if I'm going to recover from this or not recover, but I don't want you boys to have to make this decision. So, and they were not happy that she signed it, but you know, it's her decision.
And you mentioned something there of being sound mind, which is why you're saying you want to do it now.
You want to do it now. You want to do it now. In sound mind
and in good health. But what makes it legal? And then who hangs on to that? Like, so who has that information in case you're put in that scenario?
Well, so I tell people, share it with a number of people. One tip that I started giving people is put it in your glove box, because usually when you're rushing to the hospital or somebody's rushing you to the hospital, you know, you're not, oh, where are the legal documents?
Right.
So put a copy in your glove box, give a copy to your children, give a copy to your spouse, maybe even give a copy to a trusted friend. So, because if someone really doesn't agree with what you've put in there, maybe they're not going to be forthcoming. The other thing is you also can give it to your primary care doctor, and then it's in your medical records.
Oh,
so
yes, because I would people know where to look or go.
Does the lawyer, and sorry, I just had this recently come up with my family, but how specific do you need to get? I had an aunt who had many health issues, and when they were doing a procedure, her heart stopped because it wasn't in her living will to not resuscitate her. They did, which caused even further issues. How do we know how specific we're supposed to be in something like a
living will document that we use has a long checklist, and I'll also tell you, I mean, some people might say, well, gosh, I don't know what I would want done with that. I mean, you can put don't know, but there may be some things that you really care about, and we try to guide people. I mean, there is a box on there which says I want to be administered pain medication, and frankly, if my preference would be just take that box off of there, but it is on the form. And what I advise people is I say, look, you absolutely are going to want pain medication, no matter what. You don't want to die and be in pain, so make sure you check that one. But there are some things that you might just not know, or you might not have a strong feeling, and so maybe you're going to put I don't know. But there might be other things that you really care about, like for instance, if there's no brain activity, you know, or if the doctors are saying you're going to be, you know, a vegetable, or I mean, everybody kind of has their limitations about what they can live with if they come out of it.
Okay, so let's expand upon that. In my 30s, I'm pretty sure what I'd put on most of those are don't know, but when I'm getting a little older, that might change. So how do I?
Right, so we can always amend it. You can always update it. You can tear it up, do a new one. You could, go get it from everybody that you've given it to and do an amendment and kind of, say, cross things out and then make sure you date it and all of that. So
that makes it legal.
And that makes it legal, yeah, as long as it's, because we have you sign it in front of a notary, and so it's clear, that these are your wishes and that nobody's, really, made that up. The other thing is, so, we were talking about being of sound mind. We get calls sometimes and somebody will say, hey, can you come over to the hospital because grandma needs to sign a will or grandma needs to sign a power of attorney. And, so when we get those calls and we go, we bring a witness, and we ask a lot of questions. Do you know who the president is? Well, what day is today? Who are these people? What are you doing? What are your wishes? Because we have to make sure that if this person's going to sign something, they really know what's going on, and that they're not under duress from some family member to, maybe you and I are sisters and we've always fought and mom's in the hospital and I'm going to have mom sign a new will and cut you out. Well, as the lawyer, a lawyer needs to make sure that mom knows what she's doing, and that this isn't, gosh, mom's on her last leg, and I'm going to try and pull a fast one.
Right.
So, yeah.
What about actual wills?
Yes. So actual wills. So if you're married and you have children, and your thought is, if something happens to me, everything's going to go to my spouse and then to my children, then it's not as imperative that you get a will. So I always kind of walk through people. When people come in, I always say, okay, let's just walk through what would happen if you died without a will. So then you can make the decision: do you want to spend the money and get it?
Okay.
But when it really becomes necessary is, let's say you don't have any minor children, and let's say you're married, and let's say there's a horrible car accident and you're both in this car accident, and maybe the wife dies first and the husband dies second. Well, everything that the wife has is going to go to the husband's estate, and everything in the husband's estate, if he also has no will, is going to go to his relatives. Okay. So maybe the wife really isn't a fan of the in-laws. Now, everything you've worked hard for is going to go to your in-laws. It's not going to go to your family. It's going to go to your in-laws. But where it really becomes important is if you've been divorced and you've got kids. Because I just got through having this conversation with a client. We were finalizing her divorce, and she was saying, well, what's going to happen to me if I walk out of here and get hit by a bus? And I said, well, when the divorce is final and you get hit by a bus, everything you have, if you don't have a will, is going to go to your children. And then, because they're all minors, guess who's going to manage the money?
Your ex-husband.
Your ex-husband, exactly. And so, so of course, the next thing was, let's do the will. So you have that issue, but then also, what if you remarry? So let's say that you're married, you've been divorced, you have children from another marriage. Now you've remarried. What do you want to do with regard to taking care of your spouse? So, because what Iowa law says is, if there's no will in place, what will happen is that spouse will take up to 50%, 50% of the house, 50% of the personal property, up to, as long as it's over $50,000. So then the children get the other 50%. Maybe that's what you want, but sometimes people feel very strongly, I want my children to have these things, or I bought this house with my new wife, and so she should have all of the house. My kids shouldn't have half the house. So in those types of situations, if there's been a divorce or if there are children from another marriage, you really do need to think about getting a will. And they're not that expensive.
I was going to say, let's go back to living will for a second, because you mentioned easy to put together, not that expensive. How much are we talking about?
I think a living will is like $150, $200 is kind of the price. I mean, every law firm differs.
A little different.
Yeah, but I know at our firm that's about what we charge. For power of attorneys, I think those are $250. And for power of attorneys, we can do medical power of attorney. We can do a financial power of attorney. Oh. Yes, so that allows let's say something happens to you, and so now somebody has to be able to get into your bank account and write checks and things like that. So that's what the financial power of attorney would be for.
Is that something that you assign that in its immediate action, or is that something that you can, if something were to happen, I would assign this person to handle this?
Exactly. It's the latter. So it is you put it, our power of attorneys are very clear that if a doctor says that you are not able right now to make these decisions, then the power of attorney kicks in. So you don't have to worry that if you give somebody a power of attorney, now Now, there are other power of attorneys where sometimes maybe you and I are buying some real estate and you're going to be out of town, and so you're going to give me a power of attorney to sign your name on documents. That is immediate. That's for that particular issue.
Okay.
But with regard to the ones that we're talking about with regard to financial situations, it's typically the language we have in there is it only kicks in if you can't make the decisions.
And you can put parameters on there as far as how long this lasts, or it's just for these, like just these transactions or what have you?
Yes, absolutely. And you can revoke it, and you can also say, okay, you know, my first choice is Jackie and my second choice is Lou, you know, or maybe I think Jackie will do a good job, but I think she should have help from Lou, so I'm going to put Jackie and Lou, and they have to make joint decisions. So, you know, those things really aren't that expensive. And then wills, a simple will starts at our office about $400. If you need a trust, then that starts getting a little bit more expensive.
Yeah, a little more involved. Yeah. I could fill out my will, let everybody know who's going to get my debt when I'm gone. Okay. If people want more details, you guys are the experts. You're great to talk to. Just if you want to have a cup of coffee, a conversation.
Sure.
How can they reach out and find you?
Sure. Just give us a call, 279-2000. Come on in, have a cup of coffee, and we'll talk about what you need. There's no charge for the coffee. So
love it. Great information as always. And like you said, it's things maybe you don't like to think about, but it's important to be prepared.
It is. It is.
Wonderful.
You don't want to wait too long.
Thank you so much. BaerLawOffice.com if you would like more details. You're watching